All right, let's talk about your body's internal clock. It's this incredible hidden system that's running the show behind the scenes, governing just about everything. We're going to get into why so many of us are constantly fighting against our own natural rhythm, and why it's leaving us so completely exhausted.
You know that feeling, right? You technically got enough sleep, maybe even had a couple cups of coffee, but you are just dragging yourself through the day. You feel completely wiped out, and you can't figure out why. Well, you are definitely not alone.
There's actually a name for this, and it might not be what you think. It's called social jet lag, and it's basically the result of a silent battle that's happening inside your body every single day. A battle between the clock on your wall and the ancient clock inside your cells. So here's what we're going to break down. We'll start with your body's hidden clocks, and then meet the brain's master conductor that tries to keep them all in sync. We'll get into what social jet lag really is, debunk some huge myths about sleep, and look at the seriously high cost of all this mistiming. And then we'll finish with some clear, simple steps to get your rhythm back.
Okay, let's dive right in. Before we can fix the problem, we have to appreciate the just incredible timekeeping system that we all have built in. And trust me, it's way more complex than you probably think.
I love this quote from Gregor Aichelet. "We have a real shop of clocks." It's so perfect, because you don't just have one body clock, you have a whole network of them. There's one in your liver, your heart, your muscles, even your skin. Nearly every single cell in your body has its own little clock, ticking away.
And all these clocks are trying to follow what's called a circadian rhythm. The name itself gives you a huge hint. Circa dies literally means about a day. And that word about is absolutely crucial here. See, your internal clocks don't run on a perfect 24-hour cycle. They're a little bit off, which means every single day they need to be reset.
So if you've got this entire shop of clocks, what stops it from being total chaos? Well, that's where the brain's master conductor comes in. Deep inside your brain, there's this tiny little cluster of about 20,000 neurons called the suprachiasmatic nucleus, or SCN for short. Think of it as the big boss. It's the master clock that coordinates all the other little clocks throughout your body, making sure everyone is on the same page.
And how does this master clock set its time? It's actually incredibly simple and incredibly powerful. It all comes down to light. When that morning light hits your eyes, it sends a direct signal to the SCN. That's the wake-up call. The SCN then basically shouts the official time to the rest of your body, using hormones and nerve signals to get the message out to that whole shop of clocks.
And this is where we run into the central conflict of modern life. Our biology, which evolved over millennia to follow the sun, is now totally at war with our demanding 24/7 artificially lit schedules. This is the very heart of social jet lag.
So social jet lag is just this mismatch between two different clocks. You have your body clock, let's call it sun time, that wants to wake up with the light, and then you have your social clock, wall time, that's run by alarms for work, school, you name it. And for a staggering 2/3 of us, that alarm clock is ripping us out of sleep in the middle of our biological night. Our body is just screaming for more rest, but the alarm says, nope, time to go.
So what do? We feel out of sync, we're exhausted, so we reach for things that we think are helping us get by. But as we're about to see, some of the most common habits are actually making the problem so much worse.
Okay, let's tackle a classic, the nightcap. That glass of wine or beer to help you wind down. It feels relaxing, right? It feels like it helps you fall asleep. But what is it actually doing to your brain? Here's the hard truth. Alcohol is a sedative. It's not a sleep aid. Yeah, it might knock you out faster, but it doesn't help you get real sleep. In fact, it completely destroys what scientists call your sleep architecture. It fragments your sleep and suppresses the really important restorative stages, like REM and deep sleep, which is the very reason you're sleeping in the first place. And what about caffeine? I know so many people who say, oh, I can have an espresso after dinner and sleep like a baby. Well, you might fall asleep, but the quality of that sleep is taking a massive hit. Caffeine has a half-life of around 6 to 7 hours. So that 3 p.m. coffee you had, half of the caffeine is still buzzing around in your brain at 9 p.m. It leads to what researchers call junk sleep. You're out, but you're not getting the deep, restorative rest your body desperately needs. And then there's melatonin. It's marketed everywhere as this gentle, natural sleep solution. But here's the thing. It's not a gentle supplement. It's a powerful hormone. When you take it, you're directly intervening in your body's hormone system, and if you're not careful, it can actually throw your natural rhythm even more out of whack, leaving you feeling groggy the next day. It's absolutely not something to be taken casually.
So this constant battle with our internal clocks, it does more than just make us feel tired. Living in a state of chronic social jet lag has serious, measurable costs for our health and for society as a whole.
The scale of this problem is just staggering. According to Germany's Robert Koch Institute, a full quarter, 1 in 4 adults, report suffering from a sleep disorder. Think about that for a second. This is not a small problem. It's a massive public health issue that's just hiding in plain sight.
And look at the ripple effects. Studies consistently show that people with more social jet lag are more likely to smoke and drink more alcohol. But look at that last one. If you are already overweight, living against your body clock makes it significantly more likely that you'll become obese. It's not a coincidence. When your clocks are all out of sync, it creates metabolic chaos, messing with the very hormones that control your hunger and metabolism.
Okay, after all of that, I have some really good news. The solution to resetting your clock isn't some expensive, complicated biohack. It's actually about getting back to basics. A few simple, incredibly powerful principles that help you work with your biology, not against it.
So here are 4 things you can start doing right away. 1. Get sunlight in your eyes first thing in the morning. That's the master signal. 2. Consistency is king. Try to go to bed and wake up at roughly the same time every day, yes, even on weekends. That stabilizes everything. 3. Cut off caffeine at least 10 to 12 hours before bed. And 4. Remember, food is a time cue too. Try to stop eating a few hours before you go to sleep to let your internal organs rest.
So I guess the question to leave you with is this. Are you living on your own time, or are you living on the world's time? Understanding this internal rhythm isn't just cool science. It is the key to unlocking more energy, better health, and honestly, a better life. It all starts when you stop fighting and finally learn to live in sync with yourself.